Hey there, math fans. I wanted to make a quick video on shifting, reflecting, and dilating. And in doing so, I thought I would just pick a random other curve that maybe you haven't heard of before, and we will shift and dilate that. And this curve is called the Witch of Agnesi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I looked up a little bit of history. I've just seen it before, but it was a mistranslation. The word in French meant curve, but somebody translated it as witch, and then it's kept that ever since. The person's a famous mathematician of the time, female mathematician of the time, which was rare at that time. Anyways, let's take a graph and just do something with it. So the point I wanted to make was it's actually really fast. This is one of the methods I describe in my review sheet for this topic. If you know what this graph looks like, the point is, then I also know what other graphs look like. For example, let's do 2x minus 3 plus 7. I know what that graph looks like. Eventually, you may be able to just do it immediately, but if you want a step-by-step, the step-by-step is to move the outside stuff to the other side and then undo. That gives you a general approach. I feel like, having done this lots of times, that's probably the minimal things to do. So you take the points here, 0, 0, and let's just take a random point here. And the other thing is you don't even have to do this. You could use other techniques to graph it. This is just sort of reinforces. So let's say I want to take 0, 0 and 1, 1. I could ask where they go after we do this transformation. And the way I think about it is I'm going to undo. So I'm going to say, in order to get back to my original graph, I have to add 3. That's the part that's sort of weird. So you add 3, this is going to become 3, this is going to become 4. You can also just think of it as shifting right. Okay, in order to undo this, like if I was solving when is that equal to my old value, I have to multiply by 2 first and then add 7. So multiply by 2 and then add 7. So 2 times 0 plus 7 is 7. Multiply by 2 and add 7. 2 times 1 is 2. This is going to be 9. And that really gives you enough to graph the new graph, because then you have some points. You know what used to be the vertex is now going to be at 3, 7. So 3, 7. I'm not worried about being to scale. And then there's going to be a point up here at 4, 9. Done. There you go. If your goal is just to say, I know that is shifting and dilating, then that's fine too. Plot a couple points, use what you know. We can do that for any of these graphs. So let's play the game again. Let's get rid of this. If somebody were to say, I would like to know what the graph of y equals negative x minus 4 squared plus 7, you could say, well, I know what the graph of the basic parabola is, and I can grab a couple points from it. Let's say 0, 0, 2, 4, and I can ask where they go. Where does 0, 0 go after these changes? Where does 2, 4 go after these changes? Now, in this case, we actually already know what all this stuff does because that's the vector form. But if you wanted to, you can move the outside stuff to the other side, then divide by -1. So all the x's, you're going to add 4. This is going to be a 6. All the y's, you're going to multiply by -1 and then add 7. Multiply by -1 and add 7. Multiply by -1 and add 7. You're going to get a 3. The new vertex is going to be at 4, 7, but we already knew that. 4, 7. And it's going to be going through the point 6, 3. Since 6, 3 is below, that means it's a sad parabola. We already knew that. So a lot of this movement stuff reinforces what we already know. Okay, so I think I'll skip these other ones and let's just go straight to a random other thing. That's when it becomes more helpful, because those curves I just mentioned, we sort of already knew what their graphs look like. So when you encounter something new, and this happens a lot when I'm graphing or doing a new example, is I spend a lot of time making it fit my data. So here I've drawn that curve. That's what you get. I've plotted a few points. So when I plug in 0, when I plug in 0, I get 2. I think this is supposed to be 4. I just miscopied. And when you plug in 2, you get 1. Okay, so it matches up now. That was the intended curve. I made it just for fun. Grabbed a picture of a squirrel. Kind of looks like something from the UW campus. And we're going to let it go here. So just for fun, I'll have it moving around while we do this. So there goes our little squirrel moving along. So what I'd like to do is move that thing. So what if I wanted to move it up or over? We know how to do that now. So let's just start doing a few changes. What if we wanted to graph negative 8x squared plus 4? This is just good. You sort of say, what do I think that will do? And then you just make changes. And here I'll show you me actually making the changes so you can see them. So let's graph this. And the new function I'm going to graph is here. So I'm just going to change this to minus on the outside. Look at, there we go. That's the new one. I'm leaving the dotted one is the old one. This one is the new one. Then you could play around with some other things. So you could say, well, I would actually like to move it down one. All right. I would actually like to stretch it out a little bit. Great. All right, I don't want it to be negative anymore. I want it to be up. And I think if someone just did this for 10 minutes, they would get a really good feel for how this is. Let's say I want to move it right one. Let's say I want to move it right two. No, I want to move it left. Play this game. I want it to go up a little bit. Maybe I want to flip it this way. So I feel like that's pretty an interesting little experiment for you to do. Cool? And in terms of once we know what we want, let's say I said, well, I want it to be steeper. I want it to be shifted over 1. I want it to be up 2. And you figure out, all right, that match, I knew what the graph generally was, but now I have the mountain where I want it. Then you can go back to your formula and give the formula for it. So there's this other practical piece to this, which I'll show here is, okay, now that I know what I wanted to do, for some reason, I don't know why, I wanted to shift it in this way. So now I just need to say I need to do 2 f of x minus 1 plus 2. So I'm going to do 2 f of x minus 1 plus 2. Is that what we said? I'm having a terrible memory day. That's it. This is the equation for that manipulated blue curve there. Okay. So I'm trying to just say this in a few different ways to make it more interesting. Again, not a huge topic, but hope that helps.